UMG Online. It's myself, Lando, joined by Taylor Keating for tonight's matches. Taylor, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantabulous, Landon. I'm glad to find. I'm glad to be casting this wonderful 4-year-old game.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one to say the least, with some of the interesting tidbits about it. But it's always a fun time.
Eddie Mystical, who he's a nice snipe right there. I've been watching him for a long time. He's a nice player. He's a nice player. What are your thoughts on Eddie Mystical?
I've actually been able to cast over Eddie a few times throughout some of our UMG Online tournaments, and he's always been someone who's kind of at the top of the leaderboard. I've not seen him play, I don't believe, with this particular group of players. Maybe Crusade at one point, but I know he ended up at least getting into the finals of a tournament. I know that maybe took place around like 2 weeks ago. But I know he's obviously a very talented player. I've heard about him through kind of the ranks throughout the last year and a half or so. And along with some of his teammates, I think either one of these teams, whoever makes it through, I think definitely has a threat to be guys who can make it in that top 8, top 16, that area by no means. So.
Oh, another snipe right there. I've known Mystical since Black Ops 2. He was kind of in that 8s mangle that we used to have with a lot of players that are playing now. These top players like Pristini and Arcides. So he was in the mix back then, and he's still in the mix now. So it's nice to see him playing a 4-year-old game, but sniping well.
Absolutely. That one's currently on deck. Of course, a 1-on-2 for the moment, as he will be facing off against now Drafty and Jay Eagle. And taking shots from his right, narrowly actually is able to escape, and it looks like Crusade ends up being timed out. So we'll try to get word onto exactly how this one will restart once this round does come to a close. Before we do that, we can also see if Eddie Mystical can potentially get a 1-on-2 here. Still with that sniper rifle in hand. And looks like he will be playing the time right now. Of course, the bomb not really in the favorable position, so he might have to go for kills right now here, Taylor.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's going for kills right now. If anything, he's just going to pick up a kill, and then hopefully the other guy pokes out, but he doesn't look good right now.
Yeah, probably just going to play the time. If he can seek out one, that'd be great, but definitely not going to find the second, kind of just waiting here. And we'll obviously get word as to what the outcome will be. I believe they should be playing from 1-1. However, we'll get word onto exactly how that one does play out. But at least we'll be playing from 1-1, most likely at the end of our restart. We do, of course, apologize for that. And we'll see what the lobby does do, because, of course, we're just kind of at the mercy of the players. Do they stay here? Nope, looks like they were going to finish off.
No, yeah,
drop. So yeah, guys, I believe we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break here and try to get word as to exactly what took place, try to get the player who ended up leaving the match back into the game. As far as at least my knowledge of what should happen, it most likely is going to be 1-1 once we do return. But guys, apologies for the quick commercial break, but we'll be back right after this for Map 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We told you to be a short commercial break, and that's exactly why. I believe we have all 8 players back in the lobby, kind of a quick restart. And at least from our knowledge, it should be playing from 1-1. So nothing kind of out of the ordinary. No high score lines. We'll obviously try to get the production to put up the updated scores just to the side of the overall round count and get things settled for you guys. But of course, loading in here toward map number 1, round already taking place. And it looks like Jay Eagles left in a pretty awkward scenario, as the only question being, if God Park can actually pick up this kill, it would be a team ace here, Taylor. But it looks like that is going to be the case. So a team ace after we restart. Good play there from Howdy.
I mean, sometimes that happens. Bad things happens on online tournaments, and then you get a nice quick 4 down. That's how it goes.
And of course, the 2 teams that we are going to be having in this one are C2CPrime and Howdy. So interesting team name. I'm not going to lie, C2CPrime, fairly clever. There's already another C2C team in the tournament, so I'm definitely kind of, at least from outward perspectives, I think I'm kind of rooting for Howdy. I think the team name is very unique, and I definitely support it in future tournaments.
I might be a little bit biased on the other C2C team because I do have a couple of friends on there, so watch out for that.
Definitely see how things start to take place. Is looking on board with Jay Eagles only for the time as he quickly gets dropped in similar situations. It would now be King Killa left in a position to clutch. It would be a 1-on-3. If he could find this, drops one from the side, and this actually would be the ace as well. Beautiful play there from King Killa, as he will grab a nice little 1-on-3 along with the ace in the end. Shuts down one, heading over toward that A-bomb, and makes quick work of the second. That's exactly what you want. Head back into a game. So 2-2 now, based on how things have restarted. And, of course, King Kill, the only guy who has to get kills. And not that that's – I don't think this is something that they want to rely on for future rounds, but, I mean, you'll take what you can get.
I mean, it's working right now. It's working right now. He's got that thermal. He's liking it. Interesting to see what guns and how they balance this out on these 4v4s, because it is a 4-year-old game, but tactics can change over 4 years. So, he gets a first blood but gets taken out. I would like to see them push a little bit slower because they seem to be getting blooded real quick. But then again, it's tied up, so who knows?
Absolutely. It looks like Drafty has made it behind enemy lines right now. So currently a 3-on-3. One player just sitting in bottom fire at the moment could get picked off. And we'll see if Drafty can spot him. This is a very big gun engagement that he needs to win. Spots him toward the right, finishes him off. So Any Mystical down, and now a one-player advantage right now toward the side of Howdy.
2v2.
Yeah, just I say that. Kill's starting to go down, and Crusade now left in a position to clutch.
All right, so right here they need to get together and make sure they get this trade. He's laying down. Get that trade. There it is. See, that's how you win games, Landon. You gotta get those trades, baby.
You do. You gotta sit together, man. You gotta sit together. I always feel like guys who have obviously previously played, like guys like Rambo, I've even heard like even current players like Ricky even bring this up constantly on Twitter, is that stick with your teammates. If you got a man advantage, just 100%. Find your teammate and just literally hold hands if you have to walk throughout the map. Because
I mean, sometimes I think people forget that this is a team-based game.
Yeah.
You're not playing StarCraft. This is 4-on-4, and you got to use your teammates wisely. It's not just about getting map control. It's about situational plays where you can trade kills, and every little inch counts in these 4v4s.
Absolutely. I think especially when it comes down to boots on the ground Call of Duty as well. You can't necessarily jet back immediately to your teammate. You got to kind of play things very strategically as such.
A lot more methodical, that is for sure. Drafty's looking up. He's just trying to get a little aggressive, though. I like this. Look at the final kill.
Ooh, Eddie Mystical.
Mystical shooting, but gets picked off by Drafty. Drafty's playing pretty well right now. He's in the kills he only has 2, but he's been playing a little bit aggressive, and I think that's putting pressure on the other team.
Yeah, flanked the last round and did some damage here at the end as well. So as rounds by rounds, we start to go back and forth. I believe that Eddie Mystical was 3-0 at the ending of our restart, and King Killer currently sitting at 7-3. So at least as far as the restart, we obviously can't really take all those stats into consideration just because of the fact that we don't have, at least I personally, don't have a photographic memory. I'm not sure if you do, Taylor, but...
well, I'll leave that to the end of the broadcast. Maybe I'll show
gotcha.
That.
Just start numbering off everyone's KDs once the tournament's over,
Yeah, if you saw Tony Romo in his first broadcast for the NFL, he was people were joking about it on Twitter, saying that he was the Madden of commentating because he would pick out the plays before they were happening. I might have that in the back of my pocket. I just haven't shown it yet, so we'll see.
I see. Playing your cards right. I respect it a lot. But Eddie Mystical have to do the same 1-on-2 scenario. Spots one actually through middle, and has the opportunity to go for a clutch. Would be big for his team. Currently 4-3. Can he finish this one off is the question. Jay Eagle still with that bomb in hand, decides to wrap back around, and that ace site definitely going to be held very strong right now from Eddie. And we'll see what the play call is from Jay Eagle. Could wrap back around to get this one down on B. And at least from our current perspective, that is a very smart strategy.
Yeah, I would have planted the bomb. Oh, he's not going to plant the bomb. I would have planted the bomb. Oh, okay, there it is. Let's see what happens. He just got to get this cross. If he sees the cross, he didn't get the cross now, so now he has no idea where he's at. Oh, he saw him. Did he see him? And he lost the gunfight. See, if he plants the bomb and he watches that cross, I think that he wins that round right there.
You think so? Because at least from what I've been able to see whenever players plan on this B side, a lot of them kind of go into that bottom building just off to the side and kind of just watch from the bottom of stairs. Right. Kind of plan it for the opposite side. It kind of depends. But yeah, he wasn't able to really see that cross. And due to that, I think he obviously hears the shots coming in. So you'd like to imagine that maybe he imagines that player who's obviously shooting at him kind of walked a little bit slower. But instead he kind of peeks back around, gets a little bit too aggressive, and ends up paying in the end for it. So
yeah.
Kind of an awkward play in the end. But regardless, currently it is 4-3 in favor right now of the side of Howdy. Looking on board right now with Crusade as he just realizes that his teammate dropped. That one is going to be Godpar, making his way underground. Of course, does have that bomb in hand. Shoots the gate, but there you go. A few extra shots. There you go. But will at least cause Joe Espo the
what are your thoughts on
underground
play? What are your thoughts on underground play on this map?
I don't mind the ideas of underground play. It's just personally, I feel like whenever you are making this push, a lot of the times you are going to need a full squad, at least of 3 players to kind of make this push happen. I think we actually ended up seeing an interesting play the other night, actually on Tuesday, our Tuesday tournament, in our 4v4 S&D. I can't remember exactly the team names who were playing in that one, but there was a guy who held an entire 4-man push by himself, like while he was guarding from above ground, and just made it look absolutely easy. So, like, at least from my perspective, I think if you are making an underground push, you're going to have stuns, smokes ready, and kind of be prepared for it, rather than just kind of tempting around and trying to make that play happen. So,
Crusade just jumped on top of top red and left the bomb on top, and kind of just... Anytime you have the bomb, I think people sometimes forget when you do have the bomb, you kind of got to make sure that you are in a good position for your teammates to pick it back up. But it's 5-3 now. It's looking like a 6-3 maybe.
Definitely could be, as we're I'm going to look on the board with the offensive team, at least for the moment. It looks like I was able to spot that Eddie Mystical does have that sniper rifle out heading into this current round. Looking on board with King Killa. See if he can spot anyone through middle. Actually takes a shot. He's able to stay alive for the moment. Smoke is down and might spot one going in toward white, but does not. He ends up getting fired on from behind, and Crusade will be there to shut him down. Current 4-on-3 positioning right now for the set of C2CPrime. As kills start to go their way, we'll see which team can get the advantage, and as C2CPrime can hold on.
I'm looking at Drafty, man. He's got this vector, it's gold vector. Anytime somebody's got a gold vector on, they got some confidence.
Yeah.
So I gotta see him get aggressive here, and he does. Gets that kill. Gonna get the second kill in Owens. Again, if you're watching, everyone probably knows at this point, but you can't actually see the other players on the screen. That's just for us. It's a 1v1 situation, Drafty versus Mystical. Drafty, he's hot right now. I'm looking for him to clutch it.
Ooh, come around the corner. Can he get the good position?
And
yes!
He does.
Able to do it.
I'm on Drafties, man. I'm on Drafty. I like it.
And Drafty will finish off the final one here. I don't think that was a 1-on-3, but it was at least very close to it being that.
Close to it, yeah.
And we'll finish off Eddie Mystical. Of course, had the pistol, trying to pistol whip, but, you know, Vector, OP. It's exactly what I like to say. This one will close out 6-3 despite the scoreline, I believe. Yes, so they will finish off the game there. So game number 1 going to be in the books. That one going over toward the side of Howdy. And Taylor, for map number 2, we're actually be having S&D on Sovereign. Between these two teams, what you got to witness after, of course, our map 1, we did have a little bit of a restart. What's your thoughts heading into map number 2? Do you think Howdy closes it out 2-0, or do you think your boys on C2CPrime at least force a map 3?
I mean, I really like what Drafty's doing, especially going into Sovereign. Sovereign is a heavy sub map on B side. It's going to be interesting to see if he stays aggressive, because I think that aggressiveness was giving them a little bit of trouble. It's going to be interesting to see, though, with what Mystical does, because I think he sniped almost that entire game, and a lot of people do not snipe on Sovereign, so it should be interesting to see.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. When we return, we've got map number 2. Will C2CPrime at least force the map 3, or will things be done after 2 maps from Howdy? We'll find that out when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Ghost 4v4 $500 Prime. It's myself, Lando, joined by Taylor Keating. And Taylor, we're hopping in toward map number 2. It's some S&D on Sovereign. And we got C2CPrime going up against Howdy. And Howdy just escaping with a map number 1 victory on Freight. They won that one 6-3. I know based on your predictions, you weren't really kind of leaning toward their side. But how are you feeling, at least from C2C's chances into map 2?
I mean, again, Drafty. He's the guy that I'm looking out for. As you can see him down Snake. He's being real aggressive, trying to get these kills, and gets that 1 kill right there. Hopefully he's going to get the 2nd kill. Anytime someone's got the gold vector, man.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
It really is. It's a badge of honor, at least.
It absolutely is. And Crusade actually left in a pretty awkward scenario. I was going to say, after getting that bomb down, not a whole lot of chances of escaping with that. And of course, when it comes into Sovereign as well, A, definitely not the side of choice. Definitely going to be seeing a lot of players go toward that top control side on B. However, at least toward the beginning, what I like to say about when it comes down to maps that kind of have one preferred side over another is that when you do make that offside hit at any point during the game, especially in the first round, it always puts the enemies back of their minds that, hey, this team is willing to do anything. They're willing to make, opposite strategies. They're not willing to play scared. They're going to do things that are kind of out of term normally. So I think while that was a round loss, in the end, it's definitely going to allow the past defensive team to kind of be focusing on that A site quite a bit more.
I mean, the one thing I will say about hitting on the offsites is that sometimes it does work when you catch them off guard, but a lot of times the offsites are offsites for a reason. They're a lot harder to plant the bomb, a lot harder to get to certain angles. So it is a good strategy to do it at the beginning, but try it once, and then if it doesn't work, just throw it away, because there's a reason why it's the offside.
Indeed, Crusade actually in a pretty interesting point of view right now. Should be able to at least catch one player off guard, and is going to spot both of them, but can't finish off either. And now Murder, left in a 1-on-2, shuts down Joe Espo. And now it's left to a 1-on-1. Your boy Drafty, currently
my boy
flawless.
Drafty,
Good to see if he can try to make this one.
With that gold camo.
It's pretty intimidating, I'm not going to lie. But
what would you do in this situation? 1v1. You don't know where he is. Bombs down on B.
Well, it's hard for me because I'm like, oh yeah, just plant the bomb on B. But like from my point of view, I would be like, I'm not exactly sure, because at this point, all he knows, Drafty, is at least in the back lines, that's where the kill went down. So he could be choosing A or B, and I think he happened to choose correctly. Right, so
yeah, Favors and Drafty right now. You just got to get this kill. And his shot has been on point as we've seen. It's just all about finding him.
When Murder playing close, the sight doesn't spot him. Murder didn't see the original shots.
On him,
and it looks like trying to connect with those. Challenge
getting coming in. As long as he stays alive here, he's good.
Yeah, and Drafty just trying to play the time, and
Drafty,
oh man,
he's the MVP. All right, he's the MVP already. I'm calling it right now.
Drafty,
this man, the gold vector is a great choice to pick for an MVP.
He's gonna fire a few extra bullets and the dead body just to make sure that everyone knew that kill was solidified. Howdy.
Everyone. He wanted to make sure that everyone knew that he had the gold camo, and that's what he was doing.
Definitely proven a point in at least this round number 1 versus the side of C2CPrime. I'm actually going to look on board with the side of C2CPrime. Murder, with that bomb in hand, just happens to dodge a snipe that was coming from the opposite side, and it looks like they will continue with the offside hits, making their way over toward A. And we'll see, of course, if it will work out for them.
Oh. I said that at the beginning that people don't usually snipe on Sovereign, and Killa proved me wrong and tried to get some quick scopes in and got taken out. But what are your thoughts on sniping on Sovereign? It's not really common. Line of sight's kind of hard to choose. As these vectors kind of shred.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, when it comes into Sovereign, it's definitely a very close quarter maps. Like, I can obviously see when it comes down to A, kind of having a Remington or kind of holding in the back lines. I don't think a sniper rifle's bad, as the bomb will actually get defused here from Joe Espo, having a nice cover fire there from Jay Eagles. But as far as sniping when it comes into Sovereign, I mean, I think, honestly, Remington can kind of get things done. I think the only way that a sniper rifle is at least generally useful is for those first blood that you might catch off toward that side mid. You know, obviously in between that, I don't know the exact call out for that kind of like mid-street area, but or if you kind of snipe kind of toward that middle B dom area, you're kind of like watching over. Besides that, though, I really don't think it's as useful as maybe some people might think. But I think the Remington can most likely get it done quite a bit at the time. So
yeah, that's that blue alley to catwalk is basically what you're talking about. Yeah.
But looks like switching on here with Joe Espo hopping in here just toward the side of map room. Looking to try to catch one player off guard. And actually, Taylor, I've been seeing, I know we were talking about sniper rifles, but kind of going with off-kilter strategies. I've been seeing quite a few shotguns actually get rocked when it comes into Sovereign. A lot of teams have kind of been agreeing to either use or non-use shotguns when it comes down to this one. And a lot of the times I've been seeing the guys who rock the shotties have quite a bit of success, because when it comes down to this B bomb site, of course, you know, a lot of close range fights, and the shotgun, of course, that's where it favors. So.
Well, I think shotguns are, and there's Drafty again, just murdering people. But I think shotguns, if you agree to it, I think you 100% use it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the Bulldog was kind of somewhat controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if people agree to it, by all means, it's a tournament. You're trying to win this money. Use those Bulldogs. And another thing I'll point out, Mystical was using a sniper again, where he could have used the Remington and he got picked off pretty easily. So we'll see if he goes to the Remington and stays off that sniper, because it's not working out so far.
Yeah, it looks like heading into this round number 5, Eddie Mystical beginning to hop out now with that Vector. Of course, playing a little bit passive when it comes down to the site, but it looks like the bomb could be making its way here over toward A. The first blood will also be found quickly, of course, traded there by Drafty, as he will fall as well. But it, at least for the time, should be an easy plant, but Crusade and Co. checking through, and one coming from B-Dom. This is actually going to be King Kill. It knows exactly where they are and shuts down Crusade, who might have been going down for the plant just after that, but one-man advantage, and now it's all left up to Eddie Mystical, 1-on-2, just to try and at least get one round on the board. Finishes off one, but we'll see how he fares off now against King Killa.
1v1. Killa is looking good too. So Mystical just got his first kill of the round, and he looks a little, not rusty, but a little cold right now since that he was using that sniper all game. But we'll see if he can clutch up right here.
Yeah, and of course, King Killa was the player to shut down Crusade, who was on that A bomb, so he knows where bomb is. And so, of course, trying to play the time correctly. And just rounds the corner, and they miss each other, but no.
There you go.
Eddie Mystical just happens to check the right side at the right time, and
That's
least.
That's timing, though, for you.
Yeah,
Look at
absolutely.
This. Turns around. It's the one thing, man. When you're playing in a tournament and you turn around and you get killed, you are pissed.
And this is a pretty good example as well. Heading into this round, like we mentioned, Eddie Mystical yet to find a kill. Once your players who are kind of playing a little bit slower start to turn things up, that's when rounds can start to go toward your team's way. We obviously see him pick up two, and that's a round that's finally put on the books. Granted, it's a little bit late, but at least it is one on the board now. So.
And that's why I wanted him to get off the sniper, because he was really struggling with the sniper, wasn't finding any picks. This map is so close quartered, and so he gets a kill here again. That's 3 kills in the last 2 rounds for him. 4 kills in the last 2 rounds. Can he get a 5th? The 5 kills in the last 2 rounds. Like I said, put down the sniper, get your vector, and get in there.
Absolutely. Looks like the defuse could be coming in here from Crusade. King Killa actually fires through, knows exactly where to peek. That's a fantastic wall bang coming in from King Killa, finding the second one as well. And now Par,
he's going off.
Not a whole lot of time to work with, but Par responds. What an insane response there from Par. So just needs to grab the defuse. There we go. We can settle easily, as it will be a round number 2 now put toward the side of C2CPrime. They're not making these rounds that they're getting look easy, but they're finding them nonetheless.
I mean, I'm so glad Mystical picked up that vector, because it was really making me mad and slash sad that he was getting picked off with the sniper. But then again, my boy Drafty and Killa,
yep,
they're going off. And I like what I've seen right now.
Yeah, and actually in the last round as well, it was a pretty interesting strategy. They actually sent 3 toward B and let King Killa go by A by himself actually with that bomb. They get the bomb down pretty easily, but the kills ended up going their way. Of course, like I said, Eddie Mystical doing a lot when it came down to that vector play as of recent. That's definitely kind of played a huge factor, but currently a 2-on-2 right now.
Godpar,
yeah.
Godpar, that's 2.
Godpar spots 1, and Jay Eagle will drop. So back-to-back rounds now, and Eddie Mystical yet again showing up in that kill feed, and look at that, third round on the board.
He probably is listening to the stream. He's probably like, Taylor told me to turn off the sniper. Let's do this. And he's turning up. Six kills on the last 3 rounds. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
So with that, at least as far as the scorecard in the right corner, nothing really sticking out. Of course, you can kind of highlight at least Godpar currently sitting at 7-6. King Killa on the opposite side as well. But pretty consistent play throughout the most part for either of these teams. No outliers when it comes down to negatives or positives, except for maybe Murder, who's sitting at 4-7. But we'll see how this round at number 8 does play out. 3 rounds straight now coming in from the side of C2CPrime. How will things start to turn around? Killa shutting down one on Godpar, and Killa actually doing quite a bit of damage right now, as he's already found a few to start this one off, and definitely could be the major factor into getting the side of Howdy back into this game. They do not want to lose 4 rounds in a row.
Killa really needs going on. He's got 10 kills right now. He's going to finish him off right here, hopefully. Can he? Oh, shots fired.
He only has 2 bullets in the clip.
Oh, he's running away.
And a close gunfight.
There it is. Killa is just going off right now. He just got 3 kills in a row.
King Killa going off, taking the reins. I think that was actually the ace in the round. I thought he had 7 kills. Yeah, he had 7 kills. Yeah, he was at 7-6. Now 11-6. The ace there from King Killa says, if you guys aren't going to do it, I will. So shuts down the 3 straight rounds on the opposite side there from C2CPrime, and now puts the side of Howdy only 1 round away from, of course, moving on to round 2 and leaving C2CPrime in the dust. Of course, we'll see how this one does play out. It will be Crusade with the bomb in hand to start off this offensive push for them, as yet again, another A push. We'll see how this works out for them, Taylor.
Goes down.
Yeah. What do you think with the amount of A hits that we've been seeing?
It's interesting, because when I usually play, it's all B all the time. This has been a lot of mixed A and B. I even saw someone go underground. I think it's just, I don't know, man. It depends on what you're more comfortable with, because I see people using snipers, and it just depends on what you're comfortable with at the end of the day. It's an old game, man.
Absolutely. And Joe Espo.
1v1.
Yeah, actually finding 2 so far in this round, trying to go for the 3rd. Not a whole lot of time to play with, and of course was kind of playing out, trying to make the instead of Crusade being play a little bit too aggressive. And the Crusade up close finishes him off. So just when we start to think that the side of Howdy can close this one out, Prime, C2CPrime, they're showing we're here for a reason. And we'll be.
I'm looking for that round 11, man.
Are you?
Let's get this round 11. I want it. I want it bad.
Oh man, I really don't know how to call this, because obviously it is now going to be Howdy who is on offense, and I'm curious if they go toward A, or if they make a pretty standard play toward B, because they've done a number of different things. They even let at one point King Killa go to A by himself. So
yeah, I saw them split a couple times, which was interesting.
Yeah,
but they're looking for the classic B push right here.
I was curious if we might see a shotgun. I want to say that I've seen King Killa pull out a shotgun in this map before in the past, but
it looks like Killa's team they got set up, so they might actually pull this out.
It looks like Kill's being traded back and forth, and now Murder left all by himself. Now a one-on-one would be a one-on-3 clutch, and spots it from afar. Can he get the gunfight is the question. No. He is going to stay alive for the time. Both players trying to regen, and Jay Eagle wants the challenge, and he will do exactly that. This one will end in round 10 and will be a 2-0 toward the side of Howdy. As, who knows, maybe in the team comms they could be yelling Howdy right now. I have no idea, but the team name reigns true. And Killa, 12-8.
Interesting name, Howdy.
Maybe
Howdy went a little rowdy on that last one, I'd say.
Who knows?
I got puns, don't worry.
You do. But King Killa, this is a guy who I've been able to see in a few of our tournaments that we've had, of course, in our UMG Online Ghost tournaments, who's been lighting it up every time that I've seen him. There was a few tournaments that I've been able to watch them play, and every time that this guy goes off, at least this group of guys sees success. So when it comes into future tournaments, and even in this tournament as well, I think King Killa is definitely a name that we're going to be having in our mouths quite a bit tonight, Taylor.
Yeah, and I've seen him as well. Anytime you have like a star player per se on a roster, as long as those other kids are getting kills, you're usually going to win. I can say it firsthand playing wagers with RC and Persini. When they're going off and I'm not dropping a donut, well, we're usually going to win. So
and it is pretty. It's pretty difficult to get kills when you're playing, of course, with guys who are as talented as they are. So
yeah, exactly. But as long as you're holding your weight and you're not getting first blooded, and getting killed right away, it's usually an easy win.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of what we saw today.
Absolutely. Kind of playing your role, playing the smarts. But, guys, that's going to be series number 1 in the books. Of course, a 2-0 in favor of Howdy versus the side of C2CPrime. Of course, we will be waving goodbye to any Mystical and the Co. As, kind of is a little bit surprising, to say the least, that we end up seeing those guys be knocked out so early. But it was a very interesting round number 1 match. But, guys, when we come back, we've got our next series underway for our Ghost 4v4 $500 Prime. It's myself. It's Taylor Keating. We'll be back after this quick commercial break.